Hello everybody. Welcome back. Another ride along. Yes, doing the ride along today. What do I got? Going to Harbor Freight. Today is an overcast. It almost looks like it's going to rain. I think it drizzled. I see the orchards out there, orchard tree or cherry blossom trees. I think they're orchard trees. I don't know. They give off a green or a pink leaf. I'm going to creep in the middle here. All right. See, orchard trees are blooming. a lot of the seems like a lot of some of the a lot of the trees and plants out here got a little late start because of the winter freeze, but that is to be expected. I do have an update on my lower back problem. I think I found I think I might have found the cause, and once you find the cause of the problem, you could find a solution now. But right now I'm headed to Harbor Freight. I'm just going to get an electrical tape because I used quite a bit of electrical tape to insulate my pipes, my faucets. I used the electrical tape to wrap a tire, not the tire, the towel around the electrical tape so that it would be insulated. So end up using a lot of electrical tape, and I think it's a good idea to have some on hand just because you never know when you get an electrical storm, not electrical storm, a winter storm, and I need to wrap my pipes again, or in general, I just try to replenish whatever I use. I've had that for almost like 5 years, and I've eventually used it for something amazing. It's at school time. I think it's still school time. There's the sheriff on the left side right there making a U-turn. So anyways, so I'm headed to Harbor Freight. I'm buying the electrical tape. Just go ahead, go ahead. I didn't see that truck. He just kind of crept up there in the last minute. So anyway, so I I'm gonna go buy some electrical tape and then use the coupon for another free flashlight. If you didn't know, I used the flashlight during the rolling blackouts when they had the winter storm in Texas. I was only out of power for 2 hours throughout the whole thing, so I'm more than grateful that I had power most of the time. And when I did have power, man, I jacked up the heat. I jacked up the heat because when I realized, or when I was hearing on the news that there were quote unquote rolling blackouts, I think some people just didn't have any power for like a whole day overnight on the first night of the winter storm. So when I heard about that and there's rolling quote unquote rolling blackouts, I jacked up the heat, just to make sure that if we did have a blackout, at least the house is warm. There's enough hot air in the walls to at least slow down the freezing of my pipes. So that's what I did, or that's what ended up happening. But only 2 hours, which isn't too bad at all. I just consider myself fortunate to be out of power for 2 hours out of almost 70 to 90, 96 hours, 3 to 4 days of winter storm, hard freeze in Texas. That's very unusual. It's a 100-year event at least. So yeah, so I'm getting those more of those freebie flashlights because when I did have my power outage, four of those flashlights like didn't work. I replaced the battery. There were some corrosion where they were where the connectors were. I cleaned those off and they still didn't work. So I ended up tossing away four. So I'm trying to get four. I always try to replace whatever gets used or disposed of. That seems to be a common good sense practice since the pandemic began, is like have a supply in the house, and then if you use one, even though you already have some on hand, go to the store or go wherever to replace that one, because we don't know when the next shortage is. We don't know what the next thing is. It seems like something's always happening, uh, whether it be a natural disaster, pandemic, man-made. Who knows? Who knows what the next thing is going to happen? I mean, political. Although the election is over, but still, there still seems to be a lot of political turmoil still going on after the fact. I mean, politics never really ends. That part never really ends. It's just a cycle that just keeps on going on and on and on. So, yeah, I'm just trying to just be prepared for the next thing, for the next whatever thing that's coming along, which I don't know what it is. It could be anything. Possible domestic terrorism, possible foreign terrorist. I mean, mass shooting. There's always like a mass shooting. Seems like, um, for whatever reason, So just trying to be prepared. Uh, People, I think, although are fatigued of all this stress and they've gotten used to it, I think people are still on the edge. I think people are still on edge, and anything can set off the next, shortage or panic buying. It's amazing. Any international event, any domestic event, mutation in the virus, uptick in coronavirus, COVID-19 infections or death. This guy in front of me is from California. Probably moved out of California to live out here. Anyways, so yeah, the police is gonna pull up right in front of me. Missouri City Police. I'm in the slow lane. So yeah, I'm just headed to Harbor Freight. I'll be going there all the way to the 11th. I don't know what is today. What is today? Today is the 10th. So I got one more day. Dunkin Donuts still not open. Man, when are they gonna open that place? I swear. I'm craving. I'm craving. Oh, this guy's gonna cut in front of me. I am craving. Seriously craving Bavarian filled donuts. Serious craving going on here. All right. I had to adjust my headset. Sorry if you heard some noise. But yeah. So oh yeah, the update on my back. Oh gosh, I gotta get a new strap for my thing here. Uh, so I did find a cause. I think I've narrowed down the cause of my lower back pain. I have SI joint pain. I think that's what it's called. SI. I don't know what the SI stoic. Whatever. I don't know what it is. Just SI. Just that's so much easier to remember. But it's basically where my sacrum and my pelvis kind of meet, and that's where they're at the joint. And the symptoms, all the symptoms seem to match up to SI joint pain. It's on my right side. It feels, now that most of the pain's gone except this area, it's on my right side, and it feels like it's literally the pain is coming from where the sacrum and the my right pelvis or hip would meet up right about there, and the symptoms are just seem to indicate it's SI joint. So um, now that I've kind of, and the thing is, I think that's where it originated, and it just worked its way up my back, all the way up to my mid back, and at the height of it, the height of the pain or height of the infection or inflammation. I should say inflammation, not infection. Inflammation. It actually felt like it went around both sides of my back. Yeah, it was so weird. And so I'm doing some exercises with that. You know, it seems like girl exercises. You know, it's kind of weird the exercise I'm doing, but um, and I'm wearing a belt. It's not a lumbar belt. I've been using a lumbar belt. I thought maybe my back was the source of all the pain, but actually it isn't. It's my SI joint. And what um what I'm doing is my wife, she was pregnant, so she has this belt that wraps around your hips, and it's supposed to, like, you know, bind or compress your hips, because when you're pregnant your hips widen. Well, that's what I'm using. I'm using hers. I woke up this morning and I asked her, hey, that thing that you wore when you're after you're pregnant to tighten your hips? She's like, yeah, yeah. Well, can I have it? I want to use it. And so she she had to dig it up, and yeah, I'm wearing it. The nice thing is it's around my hips, so it's not like a lumbar belt where it's on your back and it rides up my back. I could wear it underneath my pants, over my shorts, underneath my pants, and it doesn't cause any atrophy for any other muscle. It's just causing compression around the hips to bring them in. And so I'm basically trying to lock in, or what they call SI instability. That joint is unstable, and that's why I'm getting a lot of movement and flexing, and then that goes up to my back. So I'm hoping that this solves it. Anyways, so that's what I'm doing now. So I guess eventually we'll do some time lapse here, and so let's get started.